What is music to you?
Music to me is home, and it's that freedom to express my internal reality and try to express the best I can externally.
All right, let's do it.
I'll do whatever you do.
All right.
Will we get copyrighted if it's a cover?
That was awesome. Nice. Yeah, I got that.
That's a good one. Fuck all those other things.
Yeah, sure, I'll use that one.
Music for me is a way of coping. It's something you use during the good times or the bad times. Life is in black and white, and music is a color.
It's medicine. It's soul juice.
Soul juice.
It's how you take your inner, most primal emotions and feelings, and you materialize it into something that somebody can listen to or look at and absorb, so they can maybe understand. It's the same thing as all forms of art.
Our first gig was at Imagine Books and Records. I think it was, what, 3 years ago, something like that?
Four?
Four?
I was 16, I'm 20 now.
Fuck. Shit. It was pretty cool. It was, yeah. I think we were just a three-piece. It was just me, Logan Shepard, and our ex-bassist, Corey Kim, Rip. And yeah, I think it went pretty smooth. I remember Logan being really nervous.
Yeah.
But I think we all were nervous. It was our first real gig as Elysium at the time. That's what we were called.
I wasn't nervous. I kicked ass.
Yeah. What he said. Playing your songs in front of people that you personally think are okay, and then screaming, yelling, and coming to you after the show saying, "Hey man, that was a badass set," or "I love that song," blah blah blah. It's really an ego booster. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel like we're doing something right. It's badass.
It gives you the confidence. It gives you the fuel to find motivation to take your music to the next step. You know, if you can expose yourself to a crowd on top of the stage, all eyes are on you, and you see that people actually like it. It is a whole different type of redeeming. You know, high too. You can call it that. Fucking adrenaline high. I'll tell you that.
What are the hopes and ambitions for this Broken China band?
A hope of mine is to keep playing, keep doing shows, keep releasing good songs, and hopefully people still like our shit.
The ambitions, I want to be world famous. That's it.
That's it.
No, in actuality, it's just, you know, be acknowledged for our talent, or my talent. I can't speak for Johnny, but I want to be...
I am the talent.
Yeah.
Go on. Sorry.
I want to be acknowledged for my talent and the work I put into this, because it's, you know, music is my life and that won't change. So it's just nice to know that people see you for that talent.
I see you.
All right.
Reusable glass. This is from the pasta sauce. And just like that, you'll never have to have another water bottle again. Just gonna carry this around. This glass jar. Spill proof. My first gig, I would say my first official gig, was here in San Marcos at Zelix. And I played a couple songs. I got to play one of my original songs, so that was you know, playing it confidently and comfortably was probably one thing that I strive for, and yeah, I just had a great time. Since that performance, I haven't had another live performance that was officially set up, but I have done a thing called busking. You know, it's when you set up the guitar case, pop it open, people will walk by like, yeah, your stuff sounds great, here's $1. And yeah, I've just been doing that, jamming out with my heart and just giving it my all. Yeah, with my buddy Ryan O'Connor. That little duo thing we called Sweet Sugar.
What is your solo career?
Right now, my solo career is limited to YouTube videos and YouTube covers of songs made by bands that I like, and eventually it will get into my own songwriting. But ultimately, it's kind of just for fun and practice, and also, you know, whatever extra exposure I can pick up with it. Although I might be delving more into YouTube down the road. Whenever I do start writing music, it'll be all me, just like the covers, and then I'll maintain my roles in my bands, but we'll also be prioritizing those.
Awesome.
For the time being. With my covers, I get to practice being in a studio and playing in front of cameras, which is always kind of like, it's almost just as nerve-wracking as it could be in front of a crowd. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. So extra exposure and just extra practice. And eventually maybe I'll make a really big name for myself, and then I'll see my other bands rise. I don't really care to be labeled as anything. I mean, a musician, being called a musician works for me. Being called an artist always has a nice ring to it. But, you know, I want to consider myself a multi-instrumentalist or a vocalist, you know. I can't say I've earned the title of songwriter yet. I can write drum parts, but that's about it at the time, for the time being. Honestly, nothing specific, just musician, multi-instrumentalist.
So boys, what is Sweet Sugar?
Sweet Sugar is initially a progressive rock band. Yeah, just a guitar, drums duo. You know, you don't really hear that in the rock scene. Something we're just, you know, bouncing off each other with sounds and then just taking the sound and morphing it to just a story of color.
Totally, man. Sweet Sugar is a color, and Sweet Sugar is a unit. You know, that's the way I always kind of saw it. Sweet Sugar is a team. You know, we listen to each other. We try to listen in on what the song needs, what layers need to be filled.
Yeah, we usually go back and forth like, what does it need? What does this thing need? You know, it needs some change here. And so it's always just being okay to stop and slow down and make adjustments. Hopes and ambitions, you know, get a couple more members, being able to rotate a little more, and
Yeah, that would help a lot. Yeah, definitely.
and
To help
and
fill
write-
in, you know, the
yeah,
other layers.
write more, and then get to a recording studio and jam out, you know, take it from this 2 duo to maybe a trio, then do 4s, then 5s, and then just, you know, maybe one day directing a whole orchestra. Yeah.
Awesome. And third question, with the pandemic around us, how has the creative process with music fared?
You know, man, we're college kids. We're both, despite the pandemic, I mean, it has set everybody back, but we're also, like, I just moved down here, you know, last year, and San Marcos, living on my own, and I'm still trying to find that balance between school and, you know, doing the band. So it can be a lot sometimes, but it's really all about that balance. You know, he's 100% gung-ho music, you know, so
Yeah.
it's really something interesting. It's like,
Yeah, you know,
it's,
and finding this duo time is just whenever the time, you know, the time's right for us, you know, working together and working as a, like you said, a unit.
yeah,
Yeah, so it's just whenever we get the chance to jam out and have a good time.
yeah.
It's been fairly simple. I come up with a little riff, a guitar riff, a melody, or some kind of loose song structure, and then I try to hook up with Logan, go to his house, and we try to, I guess, hammer out a song, some shit song.
Yeah, he'll typically, Johnny always starts with the guitar part, and he'll record it, send it my way, and you know, that's how it's always been, even before COVID. With COVID in mind, I'd say it's a blessing and a curse, just because, you know, there's less gig opportunity, but that provides you more time to get ready for a gig.
Yes.
More time to hit the studio and
Yes.
record an album.
Which we're recording our album number 2.
Yeah, we're actually in the process. We just recently started recording our second album, and you know, if we were gigging all the time, we probably wouldn't have the time to do that. So
Yeah.
I'd say musicians should be utilizing the isolation they have to go through. You know.
Like Michael Scott once said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So.
Llorar, llorar. It's mariachi.
You're bothering me.
I don't give a fuck.
With my music, the legacy I want to leave is a legacy of change, and change for the positivity and the overall love shared with everyone. And the idea of thank you, have a nice day, and, you know, being environmental change, being personally changed, having the greatest connections with people, all with love, and for the health of this star we're on, and the health of each other in relationship to each other, to make a better tomorrow.
We're the new wave, but it's like we know our roots. As an artist, it's you know, you have to paint the picture. You got to play with what you know, what you grew up listening to, and you know, you consider that whenever you're making music. And I think slowly and surely, Sweet Sugar is gonna just morph into this amazing, cool, just fantasy world of like just different stories and stuff. That's how I always see it, man.
Yeah.
Like, we got big plans, bro. We got big plans.
Yeah, you know, all the time.
If I'm being honest, for me, I don't want to die twice. You know, your first death is when you physically die, and your next one is when you're forgotten. Well, I hope that the music we create will eventually inspire people to play music or enjoy life or whatever you use music for, just as I look up to my artists today.
Being acknowledged for my talent, you know, while ideally I'm acknowledged by the masses, that would leave a much greater legacy.
And you're rich.
And you're rich. It would leave a much greater legacy than being acknowledged in your hometown or something like that. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. If I have to gig in my hometown for 5 years and then be like, fuck this, I'll find something else. But you know, the hope is to be acknowledged by the masses, to be seen, you know, to be remembered like the greats, you know.
Don't stop trying.
Awesome. And my last question for y'all,
Like, who is just the coolest member of Broken China out of all four of y'all?
Well, without having egos or anything, it's obviously me. It's obviously me. I play guitar. Only monkeys play boom, 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 boom.
I play guitar too. I also
play guitar
bass.
pretty good.